He works extremely hard for me, and he's always there for me and never denies me of anything. I love him with all my heart, and on weekends he plays father, crew chief, and most times mechanic. He started a recent addiction and is the reason we continue it to this day. He's my biggest motivator, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. I would like to dedicate my first candle to my dad.
Hold on, I'm not getting paid to be a photographer, but I'll do this anyway. So I'm a good guy. I'm not doing all 16 though.
All right.
Let's give it up for Papa Allenson.
For my second candle, I would like to give it to the most important woman in my life. She is a friend, an advice giver, and most times my nurse, which I often need. She's there for me when I need her. She's the one to go to when I need to talk. Without her, nothing would be the same. I love her with all my heart. For my second candle, I'd like to dedicate it to my mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Bernadette. All right, I'll do you too. I get extra for this, Keith. Don't you forget it.
Alright. For my third candle, I'd like to give it to one of the most important people in my life. She's there for me and acts as if she's my second mom. At times I wasn't her #1 fan, but other times I looked at her as my best friend. I go to her with stuff that I can't with my parents. She plays as my second crew chief and my mentor. No matter what, I will always have her to look up to and lean on. For my third candle, I'd like to dedicate it to my sister, Caitlin.
The boss. Give it up for Katie.
For my fourth candle, I'd like to give it to the boy who has been in my life for 13 years. He can be a pain in the butt at times, and I may have considered giving him away a time or two, but no matter how much fighting we do, he's always there for me. He is my personal fix-it man, and if I ever need to sell something on eBay or buy a tractor, he'll be the one I go to. I love him and I wouldn't trade him. For my fourth candle, I'd like to dedicate it to my brother Alex.
All right, Alex.
I said, well, you better do as good as I did. Break them up. Put them up at the tail. I'll take it that way if you want.
Alex, take a picture.
Oh, you get the mic now and I get the candle. I forgot that part.
For my fifth candle, I'd like to give it to another girl who has known me my entire life. She's the one to play Barbie dolls with me when I was little, and the one to stay up all the entire night just talking. We got into a lot of fights, but in the end, we make up and start over. Today, I can always look to her as someone to hang out with when I'm bored or to drive me somewhere. We're not afraid to be crazy in front of each other, and I will always love her no matter what. My fifth candle, I'd like to dedicate it to my sister Shannon.
All right.
I'm sorry. We're going to run out of wax.
For my sixth candle, I'd like to give it to a group of people who have been there in my life, who have been in my life since day one. They're always there for me and I love them. They're proud of me no matter what. Even though sometimes we're far away and don't see each other for a long time, we always keep in touch. They're proud to hear about my accomplishments and proud to watch their little girl grow. They are always supportive and try to help me with whatever they can. They've done a lot for me over the years and they always hold a place in my heart. For my 6th candle, I'd like to dedicate it to all my grandparents and to light it my grandma.
All right, Grandma.
Oh, Grandma. For my 6th candle, I'd like to give it to a person who has chosen to keep a watchful eye over me. He's my dad's best friend and I love him. Over the years, he has watched me grow and been there to support me, whether that meant coming to watch a field hockey game or coming to my high school graduation. He's a person who I've always looked up to, literally. He's the one to scare off the boys and keep them safe. If I ever have any problems, he would be there in a heartbeat to help me. I love him with all my heart, and I'd like to dedicate it to my godfather, Uncle Brian.
Now you may have to move back a little bit. He's a big guy. I was kidding.
For my 8th candle, I'd like to give it to a person who is always referred to as my big brother. I don't see him as often as I should, but when I do, it's good to see him. He played a large part in my life as he watched me grow from the little girl with pigtails and the big smile to the 16-year-old girl I am today. I know he will always be there to take the role as my big brother. For my 8th candle, I'd like to dedicate it to my big brother, Joey.
I saw a tear roll down his face. I swear I did.
Oh, Joey.
For my 9th candle, I'd like to dedicate it to a friend who's always been considered family in my eyes. He has one of the kindest hearts I've ever seen and is always there when needed. He's one to give advice and one to save us from getting in trouble. Over the years, he's always been there for me. Whether that meant fixing a broken window before Dad came home, teaching me to speak so I wouldn't have to do it all over again, or simply just giving advice. I love him as much as any other family member and I'm always grateful for all the times he's been there for me. For my 9th candle, I'd like to give to a family member and friend, Joe Cole.
Love you, Joe.
For my 10th candle, I'd like to dedicate to 2 people who haven't known me as long as others, but made it into my heart just as fast. They took me in and loved me as their own. Their house is one of a kind and never quiet. Their game nights are the best, and at the end of the weekend, they never want me to leave. I call them my parents, and they call me their favorite child. For my 10th candle, I'd like to give it to my boyfriend's parents, Mom and Dad, Mary and Ellie.
We made it! We made it!
Accepting the award for the Marinelli family.
Nick, you paid for the wedding.
For my 11th candle, I'd like to dedicate to one of my best friends. This person can make any person laugh no matter what mood they're in. Half the time she has me in tears from laughing so hard. She is a one-of-a-kind personality and no one could ever match. She is my workout buddy even though we only worked out about twice this year, and she has the best style. She told me she would cry if I called her up without telling her. For my 11th candle, I'd like to dedicate to Sarah Little.
Just after the last one, Emily told me that her cheeks hurt from smiling so much. Aww.
For my 12th candle, it goes to another best friend. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight, but it only felt right to have her represented. I've known her all my life. We went to the same preschool, even though we didn't figure it out until about 6th grade. In kindergarten and 1st grade, we absolutely hated each other. In fact, we threatened to sue each other. Over the years of riding the bus together, we became closer and closer. After 8 years of being on the bus together, we were best friends. We had some of our best times on that bus, whether that meant singing Redneck Woman to annoy this girl sitting behind us, or making a dance The Great Escape. We always had good times no matter where we were. She was my first friend I opened up to, and I love her always. I would like to dedicate my candle to Rachel Rome and delight one of her best friends, Claudia Hissino. Alright. For my 13th candle, I'd like to give it to one of my best guy friends. He's the funniest kid I've ever met. He isn't afraid to hang out with the girls, and all through middle school, he was the only guy fully accepted into our group. He was the first guy I invited to my birthday party, and at that party, he asked my dad that if he was gay, if he could sleep over. I've had a lot of good times with him, and over the years, I don't think I could ever find a more perfect guy for him. I'd like to dedicate my 13th candle to Kyle Nolan.
That just didn't sound right, Keith.
For my 14th candle, I'd like to give it to one of my very special friends. When I was in 6th grade, I met a girl named Madison Croucher. She was a friend like no other. We had everything in common and were practically inseparable. We were sisters. In the summer of 7th grade, she moved to North Carolina. I was heartbroken that I was losing my best friend. To this day, I have yet to find a friend that was so unbelievably compatible as me. Freshman year, I met a girl who I knew for years but never talked to. She is funny, smart, and sweet. She makes me laugh and smile. She was my loud buddy all year. We made the best of memories that year, and now she's one of my best friends. I'd like to dedicate this candle to my old friend Madison and my new friend Eliza Zerbian.
All right.
For my 15th candle, I'd like to dedicate it to one of my best friends. This girl is the definition of a best friend. She's always there for me and talks to me whenever I need her. We tell each other almost everything. When we hang out, if we have nothing to do, we find something to do. She has been there with me through my toughest times. She's 100% honest with whatever she says. I love her with all my heart, and I couldn't ask for a better best friend. She told me she wanted to be second on my list, so I put her second to last. For my 15th candle, I'd like to give it to Molly Uncle.
shoes on.
It's hard. Alright. For my 16th and final candle, I'd like to give it to the most important person in my life. He's everything I could ever ask for. He can make me smile and laugh even when I don't want to be. He makes my head spin in a million different directions, and some nights he drives me insane. He accepts me for everything I am and everything I'm not. I love him with all my heart, and I wouldn't change a thing about him. I've been dating him for a year, and I couldn't be happier. For my 16th and final candle, I'd like to give it to Dan Marinelli.
Shouldn't we be smashing cake or something like that in each other's face? Oh, that's in a couple of years.
Oh, God.
Let's have a nice hand for two-time drag racing champion, Miss Emily Alvinson. And all of her 16 special people in her life. Thank you very much, Katie. It'll take me a while to post all of this.
Good job, Katie.